to pacify the world. And black people get pacified. You hear some man say, well, revolution done now. You can see that we get what we want. The black man and the white house. When Obama will hear some idiot people over Jamaica now. Yes, man, now we're going to get visa. Yes, I want them bad people, man. Obama. Bam. More Afghan women and children than Bush.
That's right.
With them drone strike in Afghanistan and Pakistan and Yemen.
Say it loud, say it loud.
You think that you will live in a little old island and in the Caribbean, we don't know where going on. And with the Chinese man will never like Bush. But you, Obama black, now we have ease off. You don't know that thing there. Because you know. When them go to Obama about Marcus Garvey, hear Obama say, no, that you know, and furthermore, it gone too far, it will cost too much for pardoning. Right then. Yeah, Obama said that, so none of that. I mean, you're something clear that Jamaican and Rwanda them want pardon Marcus Garvey. Pardon Marcus Garvey for what? What you do? They get pardoned. You know that? But pardon Marcus Garvey. What did he do to be pardoned for? When you are pardoned, it means that you have done something wrong. Right. And you ask for forgiveness.
That's right. Like them.
We don't know that. The politician guy come up and down after after that talk about Marcus Garvey all the while and Burning Spear come and sing about Marcus Garvey and most everyone I'm saying there. We see some big jacket and coat tie, both slaves they know come talk about. Yes, they can pardon Marcus Garvey. Let's move on with that. Exoneration.
That's right.
Did you know that they did lock up Marcus Garvey in a Jamaica, in a Spanish town prison, because they tell them that the judge can corrupt.
Yeah.
And that's him, you know. That's how they start to leak out against the judge them, so the judge them corrupt and they arrest him. And it's still there on the books in a Jamaica. Say Marcus Garvey, they are prison. So them Lego 4,000, them wipe the slate clean in a Jamaica, of 4,000 ganja man when in a jail. Because them say no, them wake up now to the Rasta talk now, to say, legalize it and I will advertise it. But, one man, Marcus Garvey, more important than Jesus Christ. Tell everybody it's amazing. I will see a lot of children in here and the parents that is here. I will suggest that each child in here should be reading the philosophy and opinions of Marcus Garvey. Because of 500 years we have that the next book there. The King James Version. Sound like a dog tune. And my great grandmother read it. And she sit up on her veranda and still have blood pressure and heart attack and dead. And for her mother, which is my granny, come read it. And she sit up on her veranda to have diabetes and arthritis and dead. 2,000 years, they might promise you that. And a man say, Mota, at time Rasta talk about Haile Selassie now, because Haile still dead. Me say, but wait, you what that? Them say dead in 1975. Jesus Christ dead 2,000 years ago. And you still look feeling good. Rasta get persecuted.
Yeah.
Imagine if Malcolm would've never got killed. Crack in the hallways would've never got filled. Imagine if Marcus would've never had to chill. Blacks wouldn't be living in overpacked jails. Imagine if Asada never had to run. J. Edgar Hoover would've never won. Imagine if Trayvon would've had the gun. Black life songs would've never been sung. So I wonder how this world's gonna ever be. A place where these wrongs gonna cease.
Yeah. Go.
We want to give thanks to Black Ice TV7 when I'm in UK. It's always an honor to come on Black Ice TV7. And Brother Ola, who's a videographer, photographer, who's always on the forefront to make sure we're documenting our story with great hotel.
Kwenda Congo, Congo, Makana, Makana, Congo. Kwenda Ndile, Kwenda Congo, Kwenda Makana, Makana, Congo. Kwenda Ndile, Kwenda Congo, Congo, Makana.
De suma importância e é simbólico no momento em que a gente precisa defender a resistência em relação ao discurso racista e preconceituoso e o racismo religioso que vem se ampliando no Brasil. Quando a gente traz reis e rainhas africanas, é pra gente acessar essa realeza que é muito mais próxima a gente. É também a proximidade da cultura mesmo, da identidade, da ancestralidade. Estou muito emocionada porque ocupar espaços como esse, com os nossos corpos, com a nossa cor, não é simples.
To show that we are together. I've celebrated African culture all throughout Brazil. I was received by all the greatest leaders. I saw the injustice. I heard the women talk. They built this country. Africa has a lot to teach to make this world a better world. Afro-descendants never give up. And those ancestors are still here with you.
Ancestors or reverence to the forces of nature, because really this is what it is about. But it's also through the enforcement of a way of life in simplicity, in harmony with nature, and in harmony with the others. So this is for me a great honor to be here, crowned by my people here, and I can bring that crown back just as much as I brought that crown that I have on my head from Congo. I brought it to give to them because it's not really my crown; it's the crown of the people.
So, where do you see the future from now? Where do you see this going? What do you hope to achieve?
It's about a work of consciousness. Like I say, I'm only a manifestation or a reflection of the people's hope, of the people's dreams, of the people's ambition to become.
Peace and love, black families. The Prince of Pan-Africanism, Dr. Umar Johnson. We live and direct. I want to give a shout out to Black Ice TV. Make sure you watch it, support it. The news you can use, the information you can use. Youth, Pan-Africanism, economics, family, community. Make sure you support Black Ice TV because Dr. Umar Johnson does.
Sacred is sacred. On the thigh, mother and father is the basics. Rise like you're supposed to slip out the matrix. Still dumbstruck, thinking this is entertainment. Escape to reality. Most lives
I keep it raw like Sarasetti. Hotep, but if you're an enemy, you catch a broke net, bang on the system like bullets from barrels released. Zulu comedic like African Bombata. The beast got a hold of the streets, rectify it like Malcolm. Watch your friends and your enemies, never doubt them. Never should you participate in their traditions, cause when you do, you put your own life into submission. Who's the victim? Tell me who the fuck will listen and step up and take charge. Most are caught slipping. If you
given much money to the white man's messengers and interpreter, does the white man understand our custom about land? How can he, when he does not even speak our tongue? But he says that our customs are bad, and our own brothers who have taken up his religion also say that our customs are bad. How do you think we can fight when our own brothers have turned against us? The white man is very clever. He came peaceably and quietly with his religion. We were amused at his foolishness and allowed him to stay. Now he has won our brothers, and our clan can no longer act like one. He has put a knife on the things that held us together, and we have fallen apart.
The king list would obviously show the line of pharaohs, and each one of these would represent a different king. These are called, the popular name is the French name cartouche, which a lot of us reject because it's cartridge or bullet. The African name is Chenu. But the most important thing that I wanted to show you is an example of the African writing system.
Another round?
Yes.
He's
there, he's there, he's there.
Go again.
He's there.
You ready?
The kidnapping of our...
What made you question in the way that you did as a child?
Well, I knew things were wrong. You know, I knew in the church. I asked the minister.
What age did you start to question?
At 9 years old, I asked the minister, "Why don't we have any black angels up on the stage last Wednesday?" And he said, "The devil must be in you to ask that question."
Really? Yeah.
So keep in mind at that time.
So where was you based? What area?
At that time, I was based in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, so I grew up in that area.
Yeah.
So again, keep in mind what was going on at that time period. You see, again, it was a black consciousness going on. So again, we were talking about a cultural movement that was taking place
at that time.
At that time, the civil rights movement. Okay, so all these things, you know, I'm looking at on television. So it's evoking my consciousness to ask these questions.
What time period was that?
We're talking about in the 60s.
60s, okay.
Yeah, we're talking about in the 60s, so early 60s. So this is what evoked my consciousness.
Right.
To start to ask these critical questions about us as an African people. So again, going back to the church, I guess that was my earliest recollection in terms of asking the minister, you know, why aren't we in the angelical realm? You know, why aren't we up? I mean, this is the heavenly world that we see all these European angels up here, European image of a God up here, and so because I questioned it, he said the devil must be in me. So, but as I'm glad that happened.
So when he said that to you, what did that
well,
make
it
you
evoked
do?
I knew something was wrong as a child. I knew something was wrong, and it started to evoke my consciousness to ask, you know, that I want to know what this is all about.
Right.
So of course, you know, traveling through the course of life's time and everything, and zoom up to 1973. That's when I met Dr. Ben.
Oh, right.
Right.
Was it by chance, or how did you meet him?
Well, that was at Long Beach State, as I mentioned a minute ago.
Right.
Long Beach State, and I met him, and that day he gave a very powerful lecture on our African divinity, spirituality, and history.
Right.
So again, I'd never heard that information before, so I asked Dr. Ben. When he was done with the lecture, he's walking down the aisle, I stopped him. I said, Dr. Ben, can you prove what you said here today? He said, young man, I can take you back and show you.
Right.
So that was very powerful, the fact that he said, I can show you, I can take you back to Africa. He said, but above all, we need young people like you to go back and do the field research, and he walked away. That was my dream from that day, to return back to Africa.
Just want to stop you there, because there's a lot of like cut and paste historians now. So what is field work mean? What does that mean?
Field work means that you're there, you're on location, you're at the spot. You know, you're not, as Dr. Ben referred to, as an armchair scholar. You know, I'm not sitting around. You know, yes, books are important to read, but we have to go back to these places where many of these ideas were plagiarized. Okay, they were copied from the temples and tombs in these ancient places. After all, everybody else has benefited from going back to Africa to copy these many ideas. Specifically, we're talking about in ancient Kemet that is referred to as Egypt today, by the Greek name.
So just say, what does it do to the mind when you actually see it rather than read it? What happens to your mind when you actually see these things?
It opens up a genetic memory bank.
Oh,
a genetic memory bank.
Genetic. Could you go back? What is a genetic memory bank?
A genetic memory bank is everything that our ancestors have done for thousands of years is still genetically in our code.
Right.
But it's through the shutdown and the denial, through the process of slavery, that shut that genetic memory bank down.
Right.
That we don't want to hear that. See, because keep in mind, they ripped our culture out of us, some of us. Okay, during the whole process of the Martha the slave plantation. All right, so we were not allowed to deal with our culture, our spirituality, or any form of worship that we had to our African deity, or meaning God.
Right.
So again, we had not only that, we feared, okay, African culture. Keep in mind, we were not even allowed to speak any African language.
Right.
All right. So again, that's why I said, but and the genetic code is still there. But once you open up that ancestral genetic code, that genius within, that's locked in that genetic memory bank, that's what happened to me.
Right.
It was already there. Okay. It took the evoking of a spirit like a Dr. Ben and a Dr. John Henry Clark. Peace be upon these great ancestors. Okay. Warrior scholars. All right. Uncompromising spirit. And again, returning back to Africa and reading, going through the books in stone. I say the books in stone because you're in the book. These are massive monuments and ancient reliefs and ideas. And, you know, people, when I'm over there with the group and I do a comparative analysis with pictorial pictures of the Bible, and even Europeans who happen to be walking by, they're shocked. Whoa, look at that. You see, because the other groups are not doing this. You see, because again, the European system of it, and I refer to it as white supremacy Christianity.
Right.
They have made people believe in these things that they are real when they are plagiarized from the ancient temples of Africa.
Peace to the family, peace to you and yours. This is your brother Red Pill, representing Kings County. I am proud and I'm happy to introduce you, family, to www.blackicestores.com. That's www.blackicestores.com. That's your one-stop shop for fashion, for health, and all other products from over here in New York, going across the pond. We're working with our brothers to build up this economic powerhouse. So shout out to blackicestores.com, your one-stop shop for all things Kings County. If you want to get the hottest and conscious streetwear, make sure you go to www.blackicestores.com. Alright? Salute to all of the brands, salute to all of the products, Salute to my brother KT, the Entrepreneurs Health Products. Salute to my brother Supernova, Queen of Ford. Salute to Nagash Footwear. All of the different brands and products that are represented on that superstore right there. Salute to all of y'all. Shout out to the UK. All my brothers.
All my leaders ass gone.
After 4, breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. All right? Oh Lord. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe in and breathe out. Okay, just relax for a moment. Sounds, vibrational patterns. The sound shu corresponds to your energy, the organ energy system of your liver. Okay? So when you feel upset and you feel angry, find a nice space somewhere, place your hand over your stomach and just chant the anger away. Remember, your anger only affects you. You may infect your brother and your sister with your anger, but your organ energy system gets damaged every single time you give in to anger. And there is no such thing called righteous anger. If something hurts you, it cannot be righteous. Yes, I object to racism and I fight against racism, but if I'm a warrior, I cannot be angry. Because when I'm angry, my IQ drops at least 20 points. And since I depend on my mind for clarity, for organization, for strategies, then why am I going to, right, affect my mind in such a way that I'm not thinking clearly? Are we clear? Yeah. So that's why we have to first get rid of anger. Anger is the word shu. Okay. How about worry? We worry about the bills. We worry about our wives leaving us, our husbands leaving us. We worry about our children when they go off to school. We worry, we worry, we worry. But guess what? When we're worried, we're living in a time dimension that has not yet come. And that's the dimension called the future. So what I want you to do is to demonstrate how to ease the worry and give your spleen, stomach a rest. I'm sorry, they gave me 5 minutes, but I just want to deal with this, right? Ready? So, one hand goes over the head, and one hand is at the side, and you make the sound as you turn the body slightly. Make sure now that the breath and the sound are in rhythm with each other. Then the right end at the top comes down slowly, the other one goes up and okay, and change. It's not the length of your sound, but it must be in rhythm with your breath. So breathe in deeply and chant. Worry destroys your spleen. Worry destroys your spleen, my beloved. And we don't want that. Damaged people cannot fight a revolution. One more time. Now, this is a self-help system called the medical Qigong. All right? And relax. Now, a lot of us have a lot of... Don't sit down. What's the matter? You weak already? You're supposed to be liberators. Now, what's going on here? Okay. Now, sadness. A big thing. Sadness in our lives. Yeah? So we want to look at the heart. And we're going to do it this way. From here, we're going to breathe in, and we're going to move the hands open, and we're going to make the sound. And we're going to breathe in and come in, and again once more. One more. Our health is in our own hands, just as our liberation is in our own hands. And if we want to wage a successful revolutionary struggle, we first have to change a number of things in our practices. First, our self-image. You're not a human being. You are a divine being. And if you rise to that divinity, you find the answers to your problem. So firstly, you change your mindset, because your thoughts create your reality. The second thing is, you must get your health together. You must get your health together if you want well-being, which is political, social, and economic freedom. And that has to follow a sequence. First, know thyself. Isn't that true? Yeah. First, secondly, become vitalized. Restore your health and your vitality through proper diet, sleep, breathing, and so on. And then create the social situation that we require. I leave you in peace. God bless you.
Services assigned to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Brother kwesi. So next, we have one of the principal speakers for the day, and that's Brother Vasco.
Jamaica, and that's the origins of the Chinese community in Jamaica. Okay? The rest is history, yes? Right. The only people who could stand the rigors of this was the Africans. And so, Africans around the world, especially in Jamaica, were made promises. Promises of good wages and promises of a high standard of living. Remember, we are talking here about pre-emancipation, and I use that word loosely, yes? Emancipation, right? So, 1850, you can understand, yes, slavery is still going on and other aspects of life like that. So if you were earning 10 cents a day and someone offered you 15 cents a day, which are you going to go for, right? So they made some promises, and the reality was completely different. This is the reality. Diseases, snakes, accidents, 10 to 14 hours work per day, temperatures of 100 to 130 degrees Fahrenheit, extremely poor accommodation, I'm going to show you that, near slave labor, 10 cents per hour, okay? Constant rainfall, and the last one, is anyone familiar with Jim Crow?
Yeah.
You've heard the name Jim Crow, everyone?
Yeah, I know him personally.
All right, but I'm going to take a minute or so out to elaborate on Jim Crow and show you.
Oh, grab yourself. Get her back.
Uncle Kwesi signing this book for our good brother Jeffa, Uncle Jeffa. This is
Don't
Black
forget to
Eyes
mention, don't
TV.
forget to mention the Math Center.
This is Black Eyes TV 7 with Uncle Jefta and Ashra Kwesi, and he's signing Jefta's book. How do you feel, Uncle Jefta? Tahaka. Oh yeah, I forgot. Sorry, people. Tahaka. Tahaka is his original name and the biggest name.
Oh.
And we have Beanie's beautiful wife. Anyway, Tahaka, how do you feel that Ashra Kwesi is signing this book?
Which book is that? It's a book that all the speakers, all the icons come, will just make their comments, and it's a privilege to have him, Ashra Kwesi, sign it for us.
Peace and blessings. How does it feel to sign this book, Uncle Ashra?
It's great not only to sign the book, but to be in a very beautiful home, great hospitality, coming here to the UK, here in London. And you know, you're on the road sometime, you're eating food from fast food places, so it's good to sit down and have a great, wonderful meal. 97 octane, my to heart this beautiful wife. So again, this has been very privileged, and I wrote in the book, Walk in the Spirit of Our African Ancestors for Eternal Life. Hotep Ashra Kwesi, 6,259 AFK after the founding of Kemet, parentheses 2019.
Okay. How's your weekend been? How's the whole week?
It's been great. We've had 3 communiversities, Education for Liberation, and this time the topics were on religion. And it's one of the pieces that has affected us in terms of our spiritual enslavement. And above all, this is where we see religion has been used as a weapon as well, where the enemy has become the deity in the spiritual subconscious of our mind. So this presentations that I dealt with were dealing with the spiritual systems that our ancestors had thousands of years ago, before the Europeans were even on the scene, and above all, expressing and showing and revealing our black divinity on the monuments and temples, and what the Europeans saw there in terms of a black god. And seeing that, they plagiarized ideas from that, and then enslaved us by demonizing our own black divinity. So the presentation was on African spirituality and the origin of Christianity, and we finished up in Birmingham with 2 lectures there on African spirituality and black divinity, the origin of Christianity, and the second day, which was yesterday, and that was African history and spirituality, the origin of the Bible and the Quran. So again, these presentations are about to make our people think about who we are long before the Western world was even in existence, and to open up that we all have is the ancestral genetic memory bank. So again, I want to give thanks to the Pan-African Congress movement for having an African Liberation Day of 2019. And again, this is not the piece, but just a small piece of the millions of pieces that we all got to piece together collectively in order to free ourselves as an African people. So as we say, and our ancestors will walk with the left leg forward, trample down evil so we can know thyself. Hotel.
Uncle Beanie. He's in the distance right now. He's just had a good meal. He have a toothpick in his mouth. And he's enjoying life. He's seen all the greats in his lifetime. Yes, and he's even flying to the Congo. Making that millions, I suppose. So how was your?
I'm younger than him.
How was your weekend?
For my weekend, it's been tiring. We need the young bloods to step forward and step out positive and really come and work with us and follow some of the elders teaching, instead of just talking, doing, like what we're doing at the moment in Africa. linking up with the young people and the older people in the DRC, and also what we're doing in Tanzania, our farming program. So we're doing practical things. We want to get the young people to realize that they can go to Tanzania and other parts of Africa and go and set foot and make a home in Africa. Even in the DRC, this is where they're saying the DRC, they want a song to help to liberate Africa and fight to get back our land and our spirituality. That's what they're doing. So we're part of that. Yeah.
So next year it's all about the youth, innit?
Yeah, next year we'll be doing something on young people. But I'll be doing still some work in the Congo with the young people there. I started already since last year, working with the young people. And just really showing them some organization technique that we developed from 1964 till now. So they're eager to learn from us how we organize and do things.
Sister, have any comments?
No, not really. It was a very, very busy weekend for ALD, and I feel especially privileged to be able to have close contact and listen to teachings of
the stories.
Ashra Kwesi, Elder Ashra Kwesi. I'm very, very privileged to be in this position, and as Billy says, we do need the young ones to come forward and carry on the work of people like our LD Ashra Kwesi and Obini, because everyone's getting older and somebody has to take, these young ones have to take over. That's right, carry that baton, and we are putting into practice the teachings of Marcus Garvey. We're encouraging our people to go home to our land of Africa. There's a whole continent there that we have, wide open for opportunity. Why stay here and be in a state of oppression when there's opportunities available for you on the continent of Africa to set up businesses and perhaps make your millions over there and have a better quality life than you can ever have here in the West. So yeah, over and out.
You have any comments, General over there? You've been talking to us of all facts and history all day.
No. Basically, the only comment I would have is, all I can say, the Afrocentric movement is just, it's just fantastic. It's the greatest thing, that can happen to somebody. Get as much knowledge as you can, and eventually try to move to Africa.
Okay, Kahaka, as we're all going to apologise for what's happened today about not going to the museum, but we're going to hire people to try and get Ashra Kwesi to do this museum once and for all, one day.
Hopefully it's not going to be on social media.
No, this part won't be. This is private.
I do have to say I'm deeply, I want to say I apologize that we weren't able to manage. We were in Birmingham, and the schedule just got out of our hands. And trying to get back here, we had a lecture last night, and we didn't get out until late last night. So we owe those who were committed to come and who did come that we would, hopefully we can do that again sometime in the future.
Okay.
Going to museum.
I
make my apology that we weren't able to do it.
Okay. All right. This is Terry Riggs speaking to you and saying it was a beautiful weekend. Over and out.
Just another brother trying to make it through the night. The people don't speak cause the people don't love us. I tell you if we speak, ain't nobody gonna touch us. Rosa kept the seat, wasn't waiting for another. I'm thumbing on these beats cause this music I got love for. I be on the block, coppers wanna cover. Shout outs to my pops, shout out to my mother. We all we got. just us. I'm coming from the streets, ain't no peace, ain't no justice. I'm part of this world where you never been. I learned the real life at the age of 10. Now I'm 25, you could do the math. Free my real niggas stuck up in the pen.
Hotel. This is Mfundishi Jakutimas Ka in Haru. Peace and harmony. I'm looking forward to coming out to London and Birmingham and see all our African brothers on the other side of the water. You know, I'll be speaking on Saturday at the event, the Black History event that everybody knows about, okay? Promoting the Black books, entrepreneurs, and I'll be setting up my table. And so you'll get a chance to have crystals, gemstones, and things of that nature. On Sunday, I'll be doing a tour to the London British Museum, to the Kemetic Egyptian wing, so that you won't be bamboozled, get the real truth. And then I'm going to be there on Monday and Tuesday to do spiritual consultations. So people who want to know how to get their life together, how to direct themselves, how to become captain of their own ship, how to move forward in their life, how to get a map going to where you said you want to go. I'll be there for spiritual consultations on Monday and Tuesday. So you can either contact my website and book, or you can contact the organization that's giving this function, the number that they have, and just say you'd like to book a consultation on Monday or Tuesday. I'd like to say Asante Sana, it's an honor to come before you and be able to share some information. Jua mentioned. Jua.
Together and we bless each other with our wisdom, knowing that each one of us can make a mighty difference. So as we heal ourselves, we in fact heal all our relations. Thank you, Most High. Thank you to Anto.